She said I was poor. It was a quiet evening. An old man sat in a wooden chair in front of his house. His white hair moved in the wind. He looked at the sky and smiled. A little boy came and sat next to him. "Grandpa, tell me a story," the boy said. The old man laughed softly. "All right, I will tell you a story. It is about me many years ago," he said. "I was a young man. I lived in a small town. I did not have much money. My clothes were old, and I worked hard to pay for school. But I had big dreams," he said. "One day I saw a girl at the university. She was beautiful. Her smile was warm. I wanted to talk to her, but I was nervous. Still, I said hello, and she smiled back. We started talking every day. We laughed, we walked, and we studied together. I was happy. I thought she liked me too. My heart was full of hope," the old man said with a soft voice. "But then one day she looked serious. She said, 'You are kind, but you are poor. I want a man with money.' My heart broke. I walked home in the rain, feeling cold and alone. That night I made a promise to myself. I said, 'One day I will be rich. I will not cry again. I will build a better life.' And that was the start of my new journey. The next morning I woke up with a new feeling. I was still sad, but I was also strong. I packed my bag and left the town. I didn't say goodbye to anyone. I didn't know where to go, but I knew I had to start. I took a train to a big city. The city was loud, full of cars and people. I didn't have a job. I didn't have friends. But I had my dream. I wanted to do something great. I wanted to show the world who I was. At first it was very hard. I worked many small jobs. I cleaned floors, I carried boxes, and I slept in small rooms. I ate simple food and saved every coin. Some nights I cried, but I did not stop. I remembered the promise I made. One day I met a man in a small cafe. He owned a wood shop. He needed help. I told him I could work hard. He gave me a chance. I worked in the shop every day. I learned how to cut wood, how to build chairs and tables. I liked the smell of wood. I liked the sound of tools. I worked with my hands and learned fast. After some months, the man said, "You are good. You have talent." I smiled for the first time in weeks. Years passed. I worked harder and harder. I started saving money again. One day, I opened my own small wood shop. It was not big, but it was mine. I sold simple chairs and tables. People liked my work. They told their friends. Soon, more people came. I needed more workers. I trained young men. Just like me when I started, the shop grew bigger. I started sending wood furniture to other towns. I was now a wood trader. After graduation, I did not stop. I worked in the forest. I cut wood and sold it in the city. The work was hard, but I never gave up. Every night, I thought about the girl and her words. "You are poor," she said. I wanted to prove she was wrong. Years passed. I opened my first small shop. Then I bought a truck. I started to send wood to other cities. People started to know my name. My business grew slowly, but it was strong. I saved money. I worked every day. Soon I had many workers. I built a big house for my parents. I was no longer the poor boy from college, but inside I still remembered her. I still remembered her face and her voice. Sometimes I wondered, where is she now? Is she happy? One day I returned to the city for a business meeting. I walked by the university. It looked the same. Students were talking, laughing, walking fast to class. I sat on a bench and smiled. I was not that boy anymore. I was a man now, with a story. Then something happened. I saw a woman standing near the old library. She looked at me. She looked surprised. I looked back. My heart beat fast. It was her. She walked closer and said, "Is it really you?" I said, "Yes, it's me." She looked at me with wide eyes. Her face had changed a little, but I still knew her. She smiled, but it was a small, nervous smile. "You look different," she said. I nodded. "Many years have passed," I replied. We walked together for a while. She told me about her life. She had married a rich man, but the marriage did not last. She was alone now. No children, no husband. She worked at a small bookstore near the university. She asked me what I did. I told her, "I work with wood. I have a business now. I started with nothing." She was quiet for a moment. Then she looked down and said, "I remember what I said to you. I was wrong. I'm sorry." I looked at her and said, "It's okay." That night, after you said those words, I made a choice. I told myself I would not stop. I would work hard and make a life I could be proud of. She looked up and nodded. "And you did," she said. We sat on the bench for a long time. We didn't speak much after that. Sometimes silence says more than words. The sun was going down. The sky turned orange and pink. I stood up and said, "It was nice to see you again." She smiled again, this time more gently. "Goodbye," she said. "Goodbye," I replied. I walked away, feeling calm. I was not sad. I was free. Years passed. My business grew more and more. I opened a second shop in another city, then a third. I had many workers. I helped young people who had no money, just like me when I was young. People called me Mr. Wood. They knew me as the man who loved trees and made strong tables and chairs. But I was not just a businessman. I helped in schools. I gave books to children. I gave food to families who had little. I never forgot that night at the university. It stayed in my heart like a lesson. It taught me pain, but also power. If you are hurt, don't stop. If people say you are nothing, show them they are wrong. Not with anger, but with action. Many times I sat alone in my office. I looked out the window and smiled. I had no big car. I did not wear expensive clothes, but I had something better. I had peace. I had a strong heart. One day I got a letter. It was from a young man. He said, "Thank you for helping me. You gave me a job when no one else did. You changed my life." I put the letter in my drawer. I had many letters like that. I did not become rich to show others I could. I did it for myself, to grow, to help, to be strong. Now I sit in my chair, old and tired but happy. And this is the story I tell you today. Now I am old. My hair is white, my hands are slow, but my mind is full of memories. I sit on my porch each morning, drink my tea, and smile at the sun. Life was hard, but it was also beautiful. Sometimes young people come to visit me. They sit beside me and ask, "Sir, how did you become successful?" I smile and say, "Because someone once told me I could not." They look surprised, and I laugh. "Yes," I say, "her words gave me pain, but that pain helped me grow." I tell them, "Never stop because someone says you are poor or weak. You can learn, you can grow, you can build your life step by step. It is slow, but it is strong. I never married. I never saw her again. Maybe she forgot me. Maybe she married someone rich. But that does not matter now. She gave me something more important. She gave me a reason to try, to rise, to become someone. Now I am not sad. I am proud. I made my life with my own hands. I built a future from nothing. I helped others. I stayed honest. I stayed kind. That is true success. So, dear young ones, listen to this old man. Life is not always easy, but your pain can become your power. Your tears can become your tools. Never stop dreaming. Never stop working. The world is waiting for you. And when you are old, may your heart be full, like mine.